All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. AIDC 2020, AIDC 22. I'm honored once again to have Alan Natichu participate in one of TLDC's events. Alan has done a bunch with the community in the past. In fact, I think on the TLDC website, if you go to thetldc.com, you'll see a whole slew of broadcasts that Alan has participated in. And so it's great to have him back with us for an actual live event. And with this one in particular, Demystifying Captions, I wanted to know, simply because I'm working with AirMeet support at this very moment with it, whether or not captions are working for you yet. They weren't working in the first session, and I just got a message from them saying that that they're working on it. Yes, Danielle, does that mean that the oh, that's great. I wonder if, like, for some reason, the first session, if the audio wasn't routing correctly. Okay, that's good to know. Well, good, because that's what Alan is going to be talking about, demystifying captions. So it's good to have them working. And Alan, you work for Exact Sciences. You had just told me like your learning technology partner, but I'd love for you to just talk about that a little bit, what that role is as a learning technology partner, because you were definitely a trainer. So you said something about it backstage, but can you just go over that again?
Yeah, it's like I'm an internal consultant to our L&D department. Because of my background in hybrid and facilitation and my background in design, I could easily flow between one role and another.
It's so cool. So cool. So interesting. I haven't seen that one before. And I know that as far as your background with media, I mean, you used to work for Apple, just you're an actor, all of that stuff makes perfect sense. And with that, yeah, Lisa's saying you're a unicorn. I'm going to go ahead and hide myself from the stage and let you take over. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Now, my name is Alan. I'm a learning technology partner with Exact Sciences. Exact Sciences is a cancer diagnostic company that specializes in cancer diagnostic test. I think I double repeated myself, and it's all right. It's early in the morning. I'll let it slide. But prior to moving to Exact Sciences, I spent 10 years in higher ed. And through that journey in higher ed, I picked up a passion for captioning, a passion for accessibility. But it hasn't always been a passion of mine. In fact, it's been kind of more like a love-hate relationship with captions. And I'll tell you why. Way back when I was going to college, I went to the school at the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I went to school for creative writing. I thought I was going to be a poet. So I would write lines of text. I would write and write. And then I would take that text and reformat it, and reformat it, and reformat and reformat it until it just became a little overwhelming for me. Fast forward 5-6 years ago, I'm in the middle of a captioning project, and I've had that same feeling like, wow, what is wrong with this? And then I realized something. What I used to do for poetry, I now do for captioning, trying to figure out, okay, what works best, what flows best, and whatnot. And that lifted a weight for me. It's no longer just, oh, I got to do this. Like, oh, I get to do this. I get to help someone understand what is being said. Now, you don't have to be a poet to create good captions. Poetry is very subjective. It could be very personal. There's a lot of things that go into it. But with captioning, there are some ground rules. There are things that you have to know to make the captions work well. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to talk about closed and open captions. I'm going to talk about formatting captions, captioning tools, as well as something that's been I've been thinking about lately. This is my first time talking about it, captioning in social media. And before I begin, I need to address the crowd and see where you're at. What is your experience with captions? Have you created captions in the past? Are you working on a project now? Do you just select the caption button? Please let me know in chat. I should say, let us know in chat. Let's see, we have Cindy says, been afraid of them for the most part. Yeah, it can be a little daunting. Oh, a lot of avoidance, confusion. Okay. People using automated captions. Okay. All right. Ooh, Kayling's done captions in Spanish. Wow. I've only done one project in another language, and that was in Japanese. Oh, wow. All right. Captions for everything, automated and clean up. So a lot of us here are starting, some of us are seasoned, and I bring this up because when we talk about captions, there's a couple of, we got to start with some ground rules. What's a caption? How long should it be? Those are two things that I'd like to address now. And one of the things that, excuse me, there's two different types of captioning. There is closed captioning. If you go to YouTube, watch a video, there's a little CC button that you can select. You select that and you can turn on your captions. Select it again, you can turn off your captions. Really easy peasy. But closed captions is just that, allows you to turn on and off the captions. Open captions are a little different. You can't turn them off. The captions are burned directly on the video. And there are advantages and disadvantages to both. I personally prefer closed captions because you can turn them on and off. You can add multiple languages to closed captions, so you don't have to re-record something in a different language. Open captions are really good if you don't have the ability to add a caption file to wherever it is that you're submitted into. Now, with closed captions, there are two different types of closed captions. It's a little complicated from here, but please bear with me. I'm going to talk about the most common one. When you create a closed caption for a video and you're ready to export it, usually you get a file, a closed captioning file. It may end in an extension of SRT, VTT, or some other weird extension. And you have your video file. You would upload both the video file and your caption file to a server. Sometimes you place them in the same folder and your video player will recognize, oh, this is captions, I should play it. I should include these when I play back the video. And this is a more common practice. This next practice, not so common, it's fairly complicated, and I'm not going to talk a lot about that, except I don't like doing them. I used to do them when I did video podcast 10, 15 years ago. And that's because streaming media did not provide closed captioning. And when they did and started providing automated captions, those were totally off. So I needed a way to send videos that were properly captioned online, and video podcast was one of the ways to go. But we're not going to talk about that. Let's just put that aside, get that out of our minds at the moment, and we're just going to work with sidecar closed captions. Now, I got another question for my audience out there. When you think about captions and you watch them, what is the optimal amount of characters a line of text should have? So whenever someone is talking and the captions pop up, how long should a line be in characters? Now, I'll go ahead and put your answers in chat, and I will let you know there are no wrong answers here. Got answers. Someone says varies. Sarah says varies. 120. Hey, that's old Twitter right there. 10 words, 60-ish. 20 to 50, one line. Yeah, there's conflicting reports depending on where you go online to do research on this. Some people say it's 28, some people say it's 42, but that depends on where you're captioning for. Our focus here is online video, and a good number for maximum length is 32. Again, it varies depending on your speaker. If sometimes your speaker will speak in short sentences, use simpler words, and not require so many captions to, or so many characters to fill out their caption line. Other people will use those $5 words. In some industries, will use those $5 words. Science is a good example. Dihydroxide monoxide. There's a big $5 word for you for water. I had to look that up. I had to look that up. And again, it's a matter of who's talking and what you can fit in a line. And if you're looking for reference, this is it. This line is 32 characters long, as well as the second line. And we got a little bit of space to play with, but it's flexible. You could do a little more, you could do a little less. Now, what about the caption, the timing of a caption? Well, that is mostly determined by your speaker. When I do captioning projects, I love my people who treat their recording as a TED Talk, because they give me set pauses that I can easily set new lines for. Plus, some of them really get into it. I mean, there's some really good TED Talks out there, and they follow a certain cadence. I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. Right? There's that cadence. It's different from public radio cadence, and you know, if you know. But sometimes you get people who speak really, 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 really fast. Who remembers Gilmore Girls? Okay, I got a couple thumbs up, right? And if you remember Gilmore Girls, think about how they speak. They speak in a way that is really fast and doesn't really include any breaths or stops. They just keep going on and on and on, and they keep talking until they reach the next point. And when someone else jumps on, they follow the same suit. Those ones are hard. And when I would caption that, it would be very short, very quick captions. And again, it all depends on your speaker, who is speaking, how they're speaking. And now for a quick demo. I've been trying to figure out how I can properly share this, because captioning does have a lot of nuance to it. So I'm going to post this link in this chat. Whoops. Copy and paste. There. Now this will take you to the Described and Captioned Media Program, their captioning key website. I'm going to switch my share for a moment so that I can show you where that takes you. Well, when you visit this website, this is a real in-depth resource of how to format your captions. Scroll down. Language mechanics, presentation rate. What happens if you have a sound effect? What happens if you have music? How do you identify multiple speakers in a caption? What are some special considerations you need to take into consideration? I'm going to open up language mechanics. We're not going to go too in-depth in here, but bookmark this site, open it up, save it. It is my go-to resource whenever I need to format captions. Okay, so, it says when to add a comma, when to add ellipses for pauses, hesitation. The one that really gets me, though, all the time. Oh, I don't find it here, but where to break for in captions when rules of English apply. I went to school for creative writing. I am not an English major. I could not tell you what a dangling participle is. Is that right? We'll go with that for now. But I know how it works. I just can't tell you why it works. All right, so here's our demo. For this demo, we're going to take a look at a video from YouTube, take a look at the automated captions, and compare that to captions that have been cleaned up. This video comes from the Internet Archive. It is Creative Commons, so I think we have permission to use this here. I'm going to play just the first 30 seconds or so. Yes, and Kayleen reports that you can't hear the audio. Well, that's kind of the point. I'm sorry. This is, we're just taking a look at the captions. Now, if you are watching that, well, let me change the question. What did you notice? Let's just put it out there. What did you notice? What was good about that? What was bad about that? Lack of punctuation. It was choppy, horrible to follow along. Sound staggered and uneven. The Captain Kirk effect. Yep. Placing was low on the screen. Yeah. Well, all these things are distracting. We don't get to get a sense of flow from whoever's speaking. And we don't know if they're taking a pause intentionally or if the machine's catching up, because this is automated captions. Now, I'm going to share another screen, which shows the same video, the first 30 seconds, with the captions cleaned up. The service that I'm using for this is amera.org. Type that into the chat. They offer free and paid services, but one of the unique things about the service is that you can take public-facing YouTube videos and create captions for them. And you can also create subtitles, which are just captions in a different language. So if you need to caption a video in Spanish, Japanese, this would be a good source. This would be a good place to allow you to create those captions. And what's really unique about this is that you can take that public-facing YouTube video and put captions on top of that. You can still view YouTube's captions, but you can use your created captions on top of that video. I think the way to get around it is that they still place the YouTube video and all its functionality is still there. They just put another layer on top of that, which allows people to use, to view the captions. I'm gonna zoom into this for a little bit. Let me zoom in. We have our YouTube button. We have our closed caption button. I'm going to play the video and then turn on the captions with this service. And what I did is I took the information I found from the Scribe and Caption Media program on how to format captions. I took what was said from the YouTube video and cleaned it up. Question, does it work for non-YouTube videos? I'm sorry, right now it does not. It does not. I had to think about that for a moment. Yeah, it is a bummer. And what's really great about the service is that you can go back and edit captions. You don't have to caption everything in one shot. You could keep working and finessing it. And does it work with private YouTube videos? Paid account. You would need a paid account to do so. Right. Hopefully I haven't lost anyone. I'm hoping you get a lot of information from this session, because I know captions can be a very technical, a very dry topic. I'm trying to make it dry. I'm trying not to make it technical. So, all right. That's the end of that first demo. Now, Amera.org is a captioning tool that you could use online. They do accept different formats. It's free. It does have a paid option. And if you're looking to have captions translated into a different language, you can hire translators from that service. And you can hire for different languages that may not be the norm, or one of the big languages like Spanish, French, Japanese, German. If you need someone to speak Hindi, or, oh wow, I'm forgetting the list of languages you can have content translated to, but it's a lot. And there's another one, subtitle edit. You can upload your own MP4 files to edit. And I'm really a fan of subtitle edit. It's part of it is my go-to resource for captioning videos when I'm on a PC. I'm a Mac, but this is the program I wish was ported over to the Mac. It's that good. It allows you to keep character count. It tells you when a caption's too long, it tells you to break a line, it tells you when the timing's off and how to, and if you can adjust it. But there are captioning tools that you may already have access to. Camtasia, that's a paid software, but if you have Camtasia, that does have a captioning tool. Some of the more hardy, more in-depth video editors, Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, those will allow you to create captions and export them out as a caption file. But what type of caption file should you use? There's a lot. There's a lot of caption files, but I want you to remember two. All right, here they are. .crt or .vtt. .crt is kind of like the universal caption format. You can upload it to YouTube. Many places will take it. If your LMS supports captions, chances are you can upload that and it will accept that. If it doesn't accept that, that's when you go to VTT. It's an older caption format. I honestly can't tell you what the extensions mean, but I just know that if CRT doesn't work, VTT will work. And I believe the VTT captions will also work in PowerPoint. If you embed an MP4 inside of PowerPoint and want to add captions, there's a way that you can put that caption file on top of your video, and then it will play back. So we've been talking a lot about closed captions. We went through a whirlwind tour of what to expect, how to format, how it looks, and what tools can create closed captions. Now, a couple of years ago, a lot of us were sent home because of COVID. Some of us are still home. Some of us are out and about. But one thing that came out from that, I want to say, is it hunker or bunker down? Well, we all got sent home. We all took to social media, and one of the things that really took off was TikTok. A lot of creators on TikTok are adding captions to their videos. Now, open captions, the captions are burned on top of the videos. And it's been really good to see TikTok, Instagram videos, all these social media platforms have captions on their videos. You may not be able to turn them on and off. A lot of people are new in doing it. They may not do it correctly, but they're trying. And that's what I really appreciate. Now I'm going to show some examples of open captions. Now, Tani is a TikToker. Her content is about corporate voiceover work. It sounds dry, but she takes a not safe for work spin on it. So she cusses a lot. Just warn you ahead of time. So if you look her up, she's gonna cuss a lot. And she makes fun of the corporate VO. So if I got my any voiceover actors out there, she's poking fun at us. I'm gonna just play the first few moments of this. She creates closed captions, but can you let me know what you notice? What would be an issue with her closed caption? She has, yeah, it's way too small. And this screen doesn't do it justice because on my computer, my screen's this way. TikTok's videos are meant to be viewed on mobile device, which the screens are that way, and the captions are small. In this video, she's talking about the 3 different tones that corporate voiceover actors use. Now, Jessica is a advocate, gay, lesbian, deaf advocate, and she has a YouTube account and an Instagram account. And I really like her use of captions because not only does it tell what she's saying, but she also leverages it to tell a story. I'm just going to play the first few moments of this video. Let me go back. So she is, I like her use of captions. It could be a little intense because there's stuff flying in and out, but it does tell a story in addition to what she's saying. The use of emojis, different icons, I really enjoy that because it does draw me in as a viewer. I also have ADHD, so seeing all those things pop up really, I can follow along really well. Some people may not. So for my next video, Dr. Han Ren, she has an Instagram. She also is on TikTok. Her TikTok videos are not captioned, but her videos on Instagram are, which I find kind of odd. But she does, she's a therapist, specializing in BIPOC mental health issues. Let me play this back for a moment. Now, I bring her up. This is one of her safer videos because she does tend to go deeper into DEI topics and mental health. But in her videos, where she does go deeper into more sensitive subjects, she will intentionally misspell words, use emojis inside of her captions. You may notice it when you watch TikTok videos. They may replace different words with a different spelling of that word. That is to prevent people from pulling down their content, flagging it and pulling down their content. It's to prevent machines from looking at that and saying, oh, this is offensive, we need to pull it down. Her content is not defensive if you're going, if you're researching mental health or BIPOC mental health issues. And she's a really good resource. I look to her for parenting advice. And so with open captions, we just took a little tour of what open captions can look like. Standard rules apply. You got to see it. Timing has to be there. If you can spell correctly, go for it. But if you need to change up the spelling because it's social media, you're free to do so. You have flexibility on how they look. You can put the captions anywhere you want. And that to me is exciting. It's bringing out the poet in me that love to do poetry, being able to see the video and move the text around wherever you like. I really enjoy that. So if you want to go down this route, if you want to create open captions, the tools that you have: Camtasia, Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, and there's another tool out there, Adobe Premiere Rush. It's like iMovie for everybody. It's multi-platform. You can work on it from a Android device, iOS device, Mac, or PC. And if you get your settings right, you can transfer projects from one device to another and have everything sync. I like that. Oh, that makes me so excited, having everything sync. Okay, I'm geeking out. I'll stop now. But lately, open captioning is very mobile friendly, very app friendly. So if you're an Android user, I need suggestions. Please hook me up, put in chat if you know of a tool that will create open captions on videos. Let me know. If you're on a iOS device, you have Clips from Apple, iMovie from Apple, Adobe Premiere Rush is also iOS and Android, and TikTok. A week ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago. Oh wait, never mind. That's another rabbit hole. We're focusing on captions right now. And with that, you got different tools to create open captions. And that is the end of my presentation. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, as well as the TLDC Slack channel.
Wow, thanks, Alan. That was really, really cool. I've got some questions for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Bring 'em on.
okay? Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Jesse's got a couple on here. So let's see. Jesse's asking, our struggle is to find a streaming service other than YouTube that is white label and allows users to adjust the captioning appearance to their accessibility needs. Any insights on that?
Allows captioning to adjust the appearance of caption needs. All right. My gut instinct tells me to look into Amera because you can have a paid account and use the team function. They do have a way for people to come in and work on captions, not just yourself, but bring in team members.
Yeah.
And other than YouTube, I'm thinking like Vimeo, but that's, you can upload captions. I think they now have a caption editor. That's also another paid service. And for white label, you will have to pay for that service. I might want to look into Sony. Way back when I was also an independent filmmaker and whatnot, but they had a service where you can do team captions. I don't remember the product now. I don't know if it's still relevant, but some of the big movie houses might have a tool that that might work for you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you for that one. Let's see. There's another one he's referencing in YouTube videos, so that we might not be able to do that one because you'd probably have to open that one about a particular product. But let me go ahead. There's one from Maureen here. How to avoid captions on top of speaker identification, how to position captions on the screen or use open captions. It seems like that might be specific to platforms, right?
Yep. YouTube allows you to pick up the caption, the closed caption, and move it wherever. More video players allow you to do that. So you may instruct your people, say, hey, if this is in the way, move it to a different spot. And as for open captions, you get to move it anywhere. There is a way that you can program the caption to appear in different parts of the screen. I don't know how to do that. I know it's possible. It's I think it has to do with code and telling the video player, hey, this one now pops up on the right center of the screen versus the bottom center.
Yeah, I'm thinking of things like Camtasia, where I think it's kind of anchored no matter what. It's
Mhm.
always going to be in one place. And a few other platforms that I've used in the past, I didn't really have it wasn't a dynamic choice. I couldn't really put it
Mhm.
anywhere else. But I do sort of see the TikTok ones that seem to be interesting, and that those things can move around, which is helpful, especially if there isn't a lot of
Mhm.
contrast.
And another, if you're, I'm thinking with an e-learning lens, L&D lens for your video, when you do identification of people, usually it's in the lower third. Maybe you should move that up to the upper third and move
Oh,
that to a different place. So that way, the captions there, it's not blocking any content on the video.
good point. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Maureen has mentioned Camtasia is anchored when produced. Okay, so the comment. Okay, great. Well, let's see. Anything else on here? I'm kind of looking. Well, I think that's it, Alan. Thank you so much for doing this. This
Okay.
was pretty compelling. I mean, I do like the fact that I'm seeing more captions available in videos that are just on social media. It's helpful for me. It just at a really basic level, sometimes I just don't want to have any audio coming out of my device or anything, but I want to know what's going on. And so,
Mhm.
so it's really, really helpful. Thanks for this one.
Yep. You're welcome. Let me throw up my information again so that you have it. Um, I've been a social media hermit lately, so you can find me. I will respond to you. It may take me some time, um, but yeah. If you have any questions, please hit me up anytime, and I will hang out on in the. I'll grab a table after this and hang out with
Cool.
the crew.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody coming up 9 o'clock, we've got Doug Harriman, who's going to be, today has been a little bit more of a development, sort of theme to it. So, next session, we'll be talking about things related more to storyline. And Doug is, Kayleen booked Doug for this one, and he is absolutely fantastic. So try not to miss that next one coming up. That'll start at 9 Pacific, noon Eastern. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. Thanks again, Alan.